Get this, it is estimated that corruption costs Kenya over 600 billion shillings every year, going by reports by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Now, what is not clear to many is how and where these funds go and the people responsible for this mess.
But as NTV's Silas Apollo now reports, it appears that these figures are usually budgeted for, a trend that the rich and powerful have perfected and practiced through the years, from the presidency of Jomo Kenyatta to the current Jubilee government. Here's that story.
It is no longer in doubt that corruption in Kenya has reached an unprecedented level, from the major scandals involving procurement in government ministries to petty ones like giving bribes to police officers or to facilitate the provision of services. But just as these crimes continue, Kenyans also continue to bear the huge cost, a situation whose net effect has not only been the poor delivery of key services and projects, but also the taxpayer digging deeper into their pockets to pay for the crimes committed by the elite. A report released by the Africa Center for Open Governance, AFRICOG, on Wednesday shows that corruption has been a problem in Kenya since time immemorial and has been the oil driving the engine of almost all regimes in the country. The first major scandal was about maize in 1965, which involved then Minister for Marketing and Cooperative Paul Ngei. Ngei is said to have used his office to bypass government procedures and buy maize directly from farmers. He did this with the help of his wife. The irony is that no recoveries were ever made. This would soon be followed by the Takwel Gorge hydroelectric power project, contracted between 1986 and 1991, and which is said to have involved senior government officials in President Daniel Moi's regime. The narrative is that, like other scandals that would follow, the prices in the contract for the construction of the dam were inflated way above the market prices. The result was the loss of funds, again hundreds of millions of shillings. These scandals would soon be followed by the Golden Bag scandal, the Anglo leasing scandal, as well as the Eurobond saga in President Moi, Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta regimes respectively. The Golden Bag scandal is reported to have cost the country 158.3 billion shillings, even though the exact amount lost is still a subject of debate among pundits. The Anglo leasing scandal, on the other hand, also led to the loss of billions more, which were paid to various firms said to have been contracted to supply security equipment. Most critics now argue that the irony of these scandals is that none of the arrests promised or even made have led to convictions, putting to doubt any future attempts to try and convict suspects and recover the loot.
If you look at the money lost in reported scandals, on the reported scandals, if you look at the size, the nature, the character of the contracts involved, you would conclude that somebody very high up in government is involved. But if you look at who is arrested and convicted, you must conclude that Kenya has some of the most dangerous, greedy and brilliant low-level bureaucrats in the world.
The AFRICOG report notes that while it is in no doubt that President Uhuru Kenyatta has remained on course in his war on corruption, it is these past omissions that raise doubts on whether the current battle will lead to convictions. Silas Apollo, NTV.
Okay. In terms of law